Welcome back to the Eternal Wrestling Podcast, and this is our fantasy booking series, Reckoning. We're going to do a little recap for anybody who's just now jumping in to the series and is a little bit unfamiliar about what's happening. Last week, we had a tag team match where DIY against Finn Balor and Kevin Owens. DIY lost here as Finn Balor continues to wage war against DIY. It's been made official for the Ground Zero pay-per-view Hulk Hogan, Drew McIntyre steel cage match. Also, what's been made official is Umaga against the Vanguard champion Seth Rollins at the pay-per-view. We also saw that Kane decided to burn down DDP Diamond Dallas Page's home gym as a way to send a message. We had one half of the tag team champions, Penta, taking on Eddie Kingston and getting the win here. The Kings of the Black Throne finally faced off against the Young Bucks and laid them out with no hesitation. We also saw Matt Hardy taking on Triple H, with Triple H getting the win. Damian Priest and Darby Allin were called into the general manager's office as Adam Pearce decided that both men would face each other in a ladder match, with the winner becoming the number one contender for the Vanguard Championship. And with that number one contender spot, they would have up to a month to decide when they wanted to challenge the champion. For our main event of last episode, we saw Macho Man Randy Savage taking on Bronson Reed, with Macho Man getting a surprise victory here. But after the match, Drew came out to address Hogan, and out of nowhere, 3 deadly letters, RKO. Randy Orton, he hit the RKO on Hogan to bust him open and end the show. So, I'm your host, Jacob, and we're moving on to our current episode, episode 7 of Reckoning. Pyro's going off in the arena. The crowd is electric. They are on their feet as we approach ever further to the Ground Zero pay-per-view, airing on March 28th, Saturday of this month. And soon, out comes NWO. Wow, 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 wow. Hulk Hogan, he is coming out flanked by Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed in their NWO gear. Hogan, he's looking smug. And as they get into the ring, he's calling out Adam Pearce. And he goes on to say that that world title tournament was just a sham, because he's already the greatest, and he has been the greatest of all time. Hogan continues to say that he's tired of Drew McIntyre breathing down his neck every single week. And now, with Randy Orton lurking in the shadows, he goes on to say, "If you want a war, brother, let's put them both in a steel cage with a goat. I'll let the Viper bite that Scottish warrior, and while they're bleeding out, I'll walk out that door, still the champ." Adam Pearce walks out onto the entrance ramp, and he's like, "You know what, Hogan? I'll agree to that under one condition. Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed are banned from ringside. If they try to interfere in any way, shape, or form, you are stripped of the title." And the match is made official for Ground Zero. Triple threat, steel cage, world championship, Hogan, McIntyre, Orton. On to segment 2 here, we have Braun Strowman. He just stays out while the rest of the NWO decide that they're going to head to the back. And out comes the rated R superstar. "You think you know me?" Plays over the speakers. Smoke is coming up out of the entrance ramp. Adam Copeland comes out. He runs into the ring. The bell rings, and this is a clash of styles here in our opening contest. Adam Copeland, he uses his veteran instincts to try to chomp down the monster of all monsters, targeting Braun's knees as well. And Adam Copeland, he hits a edge-o-matic, and he's preparing for the spear here. Gonna try to put down this giant monster of a man. And just as he runs and hits the ropes, Bronson Reed slides in, levels Copeland with a massive shoulder tackle, and the ref calls for the DQ. Thus begins a 2-on-1 beatdown in the NWO's favor. Braun Strowman hoists Copeland up for a power slam, but then Macho Man Randy Savage, he sprints down to Engine's ramp with a steel chair. He cracks Braun Strowman across the back. He swings crazy at Bronson Reed, and he's sending the Giants retreating out of the ring. He bends down to, check on Copeland. The war with the NWO continues to rage on. On to segment 3, we got the Honky Tonk Man. He makes his way out to the ring. Then the lights go down. And out comes Darby Allin. Of course, he's got that half face paint skull style. He's riding his skateboard to the ring very slowly here. And this match is nothing crazy. It's nothing technical. Pretty much total destruction. Honky Tonk Man, he's barely able to get his jumpsuit unzipped before Darby drop kicks him into the corner. Darby's silent here. He's very focused. Terrifyingly fast. He hits a code red. It immediately follows up with a coffin drop from the top rope. Hooks a leg. 1, 2. Darby gets the win here, and the crowd is off their feet for this very fast contest. A quick commercial break, and when we come back, as Darby's standing over his beaten foe, Honky Tonk Man, Damian Priest's music plays, and he emerges at the top of the ramp. He doesn't have a mic, but he stares at Darby and slowly claps his hands. Was a look of respect, but also the look of a predator. And he points at the sign for the pay-per-view, Ground Zero, as that Vanguard #1 contenders shot will be decided. On to segment 5. This is a pre-filmed segment here from earlier in the day. And it's a cinematic shot of DDP Diamond Dallas Page sitting alone in the dark, empty arena seats, and he's looking kind of exhausted. His hands are taped up, and he says, "Kane, you think you can burn my life down? You think you can stalk my family? You're not a monster. You're a coward hiding behind a mask." And at Ground Zero, I'm not coming to wrestle. I'm coming to end you, you freak. On to segment 6. Eddie Kingston makes his way out to the ring for a singles match. And the Scottish Warriors theme plays as Drew McIntyre comes out. He's wearing his kilt, but he's not stopping to pose. He is marching down to the ring. He is pissed. He is not happy with finding out that this triple threat match is happening. As the match goes on, Kingston, he tries to fight Drew with chops, but Drew is in a trance-like state of violence. He shrugs off the pain and executes 3 consecutive Future Shock DDTs, spiking Kingston's head right into the mat. We have a quick commercial break. This is a 2-segment match, and Drew, he's not pinning Eddie. He drags him up and delivers a sickening Claymore. He looks at the cameraman directly down the lens and screams, "Hogan!" before delivering a second Claymore kick for good measure. He gets a pinfall here, but he stays in the ring, daring any member of the NWO to come out and get an ass beating. On to segment 8. As Drew stands tall, the crowd gasps all of a sudden. Randy Orton is suddenly in the ring behind him, lurking, coiled like the viper he is. No music, no warning. But Drew catches movement in the corner of his eye and he ducks just in time, rolling out of the ring as Randy was about to hit his RKO. Randy doesn't chase him, though. He just smirks at Drew and leans against the ropes, letting Drew know that the cage isn't just going to keep people out. It's going to lock Drew inside with the Viper. On to segment 9. Backstage area, we see Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. They're shown here. They're talking. Ciampa, he's pacing, kind of clutching his head, rubbing his brow in frustration. He says, Johnny, look at us. We're the best tag team in this industry, but we're losing because of your obsession with Finn Balor. I love you like a brother, but this needs to end. Talk to Pierce, get it sorted out, or I will. Johnny, he looks a bit heartbroken here, but he nods and he's like, I'll talk to him, Tommaso. I'll talk to him. I'll fix this. And he walks off to go find Pierce. Segment 10. Making their debut here in a tag team match, the Acclaimed. Scissor me, daddy ass. Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, they come out. Caster, he just drops a blistering rap on his way to the ring. He's mocking Rey Mysterio, and he's mocking the Zero Miedo Penta hand sign, saying zero fear means they have zero chance against the Acclaimed. The crowd is divided, but they are on their feet. On to segment 11. Our tag team champions make their way to the ring. First out comes Rey Mysterio. Booyaka, booyaka, 619. And this is where he jumps out of the entrance ramp. Fireworks shoot off. He throws up the 1. Then out comes Penta. Do. His music is fast beating. The sparkling, spinning pyro hits. He comes out. He throws up a Zero Miedo hand sign. He's doing his little strut to the ring. The tag titles are held. The Acclaim, they're eyeing those belts. They want them. And the bell rings. This is the fastest match of the night. Anthony Bowens and Penta, they trade stiff kicks back and forth. Rey Mysterio and Caster provide that high-flying highlights. But towards the finish of the match, Bowens, he goes for the arrival, but Rey counters with a Hurricane Rana, sending Bowens onto the ropes. He runs, bounces, hits a 619. Rey tags Penta in, who catches Bowens and executes a thunderous Fear Factor pile driver. 1, 2, 3. Penta and Rey Mysterio, they remain the tag team champs here. And they celebrate in the ring with the fans, but the screen starts to fade black a little bit, and the shadow of the Kings of the Black Throne loom over the entire tag team division. That is going to be it for this episode of Reckoning. We only have one more episode before our pay-per-view on March 28th, Ground Zero. As always, everyone, I am your host, Jacob. Whenever you listen to this, I hope it's a good morning, afternoon, or evening. And remember, legends never die, and rivalries live forever here at the Eternal Wrestling Podcast. I'll catch you in the next one.